All right, y'all, for those who have been following the thread, we just received the pistons for our project, which is for the M62B46, the first generation X5 with the 4.6 IS, the predecessor for the X5M as well. This is not an endorsement for Ross Racing Pistons. They're the ones who fabricated the pistons. I haven't had a chance to install them yet. We just got them. And I opened it, of course, and take a look at it, but just to kind of showcase, as was requested earlier on when we get the pistons, to kind of go through what we got. And then after this, we're gonna be mating these pistons with the sleeved block from the machine shop. And just hopefully everything should go good after that and be bulletproof. So here we go. First things first. It came with an instruction book, really detailed, from Ross Pistons here. Basically, if anybody has, the same block and wants to recreate those same pistons, and I'll post those separately in PDF so you can download them as well and take a look at them. But it's a job card number 154083. And they have all kinds of measurement here that they've taken with their laser. And it goes through grooves measurements by millimeter, each cylinder, how much it weighs, and of course, how you can identify each one. For example, it has all the weights here in grams, and it tells you the pistons are numerated through letters A on the bottom of it. So these are instructions on what to do in the beginning, how to clean it, how to install it in the beginning. And what I did was I sent them and these are some stickers that come with it. I guess we're not gonna put them, but nice if you like those kind of things. I sent them the piston. This is the old piston. It had the pin with it. It actually also had a rocker on it. Yeah, I guess that's it over here. So I had originally sent him the piston, the whole thing assembled like that. Basically, it was like this, and usually you would have the camshaft here, and then as the piston would kind of go up and down. Now, this was the best piston out of the two blocks. So out of 16 pistons, this was basically the best one that the machine shop could salvage. And I don't know if you can see that over here, but there are some scratches still. I'll try to point them out. Here, like here, for example, here, I'm not sure if they kind of show, but basically the rings were also eaten up. And what happened is, with basically both of these X5s, and since 2019, I bought one that had 170,000 miles. I knew I was gonna be putting a little bit of work in it. After working on the heads, it turns out it was the bottom of it. But basically, the head gasket goes out because they're notorious for not cooling enough. And oil being starved from oil, or getting too hot, or whatever. Sorry about that, and the cat over here. So what happens is, with the head gasket gone, a little bit of coolant leaks on top of here a little bit at a time. And it happened to be in the same two pistons on both of the engines, piston 1 and 2, which are closest to the water pump. So as long as you turn on the car every day, you should be fine, because whatever coolant leaked on top of the piston, once you turn on the car, it's gonna blow out as white smoke from the back. The car's gonna shake, of course, and drive a little bit violently, maybe have a check engine light on, and then when it warms up and everything and burns out, it might drive perfect. And that's what happened with the second car, that had, I think it was 90,000 miles on it as well. So, and again, the same exact problem. Two blocks that we took apart, the same places on cylinder 1 and 2 by the fan side, or where the water pump side is. I guess this is where they failed. Now, I guess with this one, or what's gonna happen eventually is, for about, let's say 2 weeks, you don't turn on the car, and enough coolant has accumulated on top of the cylinder that when you go and fire it off, this rod here actually bends, because it has nowhere for the piston to go as it pushes up. So as this bends, then the piston here starts digging into the block of the engine. And that's what we had with both, with the high mileage and the low mileage. So anyway, what they've done here is they sent me a set of 8 pistons, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open one of each. So one of the pistons, one of the pins, And I guess these are the rings right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so basically the kit comes with a set of 3 rings for each pistons, 8 pins, and then 8 pistons. And now these are forged aluminum pistons. I'm not exactly sure the grade, but I'll post those with the dimensions and the weight. And before they fabricated them, they lasered the old one to kind of see the thickness on each side and the grooves. So that should work perfectly. They've assured me that this is way stronger than the Alisil aluminum pistons that were originally on the block. So we'll see how that kind of works out with the ductile iron sleeves that we're putting in on the block. Now, we didn't go with a bigger bore. We didn't go with bigger pistons. This is the recreation of the original because BMW already took the 4.4 and then bored it to almost the max size. You know, going any more would not, you know, it would just kind of be very, you would end up with a sensitive block, and it kind of goes against what we want to do. And there's some kind of like, I think, rings here to put the pins on the pins once you put them in the pistons. All right, so let's take this piston out, and then I'll put it next to the original piston so we can kind of take a look at it. All right, and this looks pretty clean already. Now I can smell the oil, almost like they've been coated already. But they kind of say to start with the non-synthetic oil in the beginning. So this looks like pretty nice, and they actually feel, well, okay, well, this one has the pin on that we couldn't remove, but they do feel light, you know, for, I guess maybe that's forged, but they look super good. And I see here 1, 2, 3 multiple grooves. It looks like almost like, yeah, the first, wait, 1, 2, 3. I guess there's multiple ones. I don't know if y'all can see that difference, but it must be because they're aftermarket. Now, he did say once you install this, you will have a little bit of piston slap in the beginning, and that's their account because this one is going to expand a little bit more than the original. So until it does, they're basically kind of rocking inside there. So that's why it's not good to drive them until that warms up a little bit. All right, so that's one of the pistons. Okay. Of course, our trusted sidekick. So these are the pins. And I guess they're your normal looking, also forged aluminum pins. Okay, so it looks very clean. Set and put it here, and I do want to take a look at the rings because it did seem like it had a couple more grooves, maybe just to account, make sure oil doesn't seep through. And no, look like we have, all right, I know it's like it's smart. Top groove, second groove, oil groove. So, all right, oil groove is right here. This is the first one, I guess. And then second groove is the one over here. No, it is, okay, 3 grooves. All righty. Well, hopefully this works. We'll see. Next phase, I still have to order those. I'm going to BMW on Tuesday, since this is July 3rd. Happy July 4th, everybody, by the way. I'm gonna have to get the rod bearings and then take this kit over to the machine shop. He wanted to wait on those before he actually started on the sleeving of the engine just so he can make sure he had the correct one. So this is top groove. This is your regular. This is supposed to be the thinnest one, I believe. All right. What I'm gonna do also is I've been looking at upgraded radiators, the ones that come with like a 2-ply or 3-ply, full aluminum, to kind of account for the weakness in the plastic of the original one, and it usually has about a 20% more cooling effect as well. So second groove. Sorry for that, y'all. Probably annoying to hear that. This is pretty similar to the first one. I mean, it does say N on it. I'm not sure what that stands for, but I'm sure they'll have it in the instructions and we'll see. Maybe N is the, actually this looks like the bottom of it maybe. All right, and now the oil groove, which is the most important one. Otherwise, we'll end up with a bunch of smokiness when we turn on the car before this thing warms up and the piston expands and takes its place and hopefully closes any space there is. But hopefully these do not allow any oil to leak. That way when it turns on, it should turn on, with a little bit of piston slap as he described it, but nothing more. Now this with the upgraded radiator for the coolant and then with the upgraded oil pump, it basically comes with a different sprocket design to make sure that it doesn't snap. I mean, also it turns a little bit faster, provides more lubrication. I think it's like VAC Motorsports. You can look up for the upgrade kit if you want. Hopefully that should bulletproof the engine. So thank you for following up. Any questions, please leave them in the thread. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll post the information on the other ones as well. Thank you.